Hey, it's Michael. Welcome to the channel where we figure stuff out together because we're all in this together. Wicked, the musicals, I guess. 5 hard truths. You may not like to hear this, but you're going to. First, 2 things right off the bat. One, amazingly creative movies. Music is unbelievable, iconic songs. The people who did it worked really hard on it, and I appreciate that as much as anybody. The second thing, let's all agree, it didn't need to be 2 movies. The play was 2 hours and 45 minutes. The 2 movies add up to 5 hours. We could have done this really good in 1 movie. It could have been like one tight, great, good movie. It didn't need to be 2. Okay, let's agree on those 2 things. Great creative people, didn't need to be 5 hours. First thing is number 1. What is Elphaba so upset about? I've watched the play 2 or 3 times. I've seen both movies, so I'm in this for 10, 15 hours. What's her beef here? I'm not even sure what she's upset about. She lives a privileged life. Oz is this glorious. Who doesn't want to live in Oz? Everything about Oz is beautiful. It's clean. There's no crime. The people running it are doing a pretty good job. It's shiny. She goes to a prestigious school. She doesn't want for anything in her life. What's her beef? What's she so upset about that she can't? It's so frustrating. I still don't know. 15 hours into this, I'm not sure about that. Okay, so number 2, let's assume it's all about the fact that Elphaba can't stand that the animals are in a cage. You know, we can't imagine a society where animals are put into cages. Okay, so I don't know, they should run free, they should eat us. I'm not quite sure what it all is so upset about, but okay, so the animals should be free. But then the moment she gets the littlest of power, when Dorothy comes into her world, this innocent, couldn't be more innocent human being, what does Elphaba do to Dorothy? She puts her in a cage. Not only does she put her in a cage, this innocent human, but when Glinda brings it up to her, it's thrown off as a laugh. Oh, she's in the ground in the cage. No regret, no remorse. The height of hypocrisy. That leads to the next one. What does she do to Bach? If there's an innocent person in this whole movie who gets the wrong end of the deal, Elphaba doesn't get the wrong end of the deal. She lives a privileged life. Her sister also lives a privileged life. She got to be governor, I think, the sister. But Bach is basically enslaved by the sister. Ha ha ha, laughs. And he tries to get away, can't. And then when he is stuck back, Elphaba and her sister rip his heart out in a gruesome scene, rips his heart out and leaves him to live a life in tin, in torture, enslaved. And how does that weigh on her? Does it weigh on her as much as the animals in the crate? No. Does it weigh on her that she rectifies it? No. Does it weigh on her so much that she can't live a happy ending? No, she lives a happy ending. Well, where's the angst? This guy, she puts Dorothy in a cage and Bach rips his heart out. No problem. I Googled what this movie is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about the power of individuality, that singular voice, defying gravity, right? But everybody in the movie, except the 2 leads, are considered like extras in their story. They're considered a mob. You know, in the movie, it's all out of central casting, and they all have smiles and different looks, but they're all the same. There's not one voice of anybody that stands out. And they're always referred to as, in a mob sense, that they're manipulated by the wizard. They're manipulated by the madam so easily. And by being manipulated, they'll turn on you, and they won't tolerate her green skin, and to the point where she has to leave. She can't even be at the movie. She can't even be in. She has to sacrifice her whole world, this whole beautiful Oz, because she can't stay there because they would all turn on her. Is that individuality? Is that, what are we teaching people here? And that leads me to the last thing that I think is the worst part for me. Something that sets itself apart as, this is who we are. We're about individuals. We're about tolerance. People's ears are a little perked. They're looking for messages. I watched the movie, people crying. It touched people. And the people who make the movie have a responsibility, I think, under those circumstances. So if there's anything that's happening in our society now as far as discrimination goes, what's on the rise in our society? Asian prejudiced and Jewish prejudiced. Those are the two things that are really becoming an issue. So what does this movie do that has such influence over people? Who are the two villains in these movies? Asian woman, Jewish man. I just think, and this is a movie that's done by a creative team that is Asian, the director, and the writers, songwriters, Jewish. Why? Even if it's unconscious, even if it's subliminal, we know how these things filter. Why does the villain have to be an Asian woman and a Jewish man? I just think you could do better if you want to do things for good.